that I was.
I'll tell you the fucking most incredible thing is when you're learning, there's this period you go through for about 3 weeks, maybe to a month, depending on how fast you're doing it, where you feel like you're ready to solo and you're getting a little cocky or whatever. And I'm telling you, the day your instructor steps out and goes, okay, you know, I want you to just, and it just was literally a hover taxi, like 50 yards, turn around, come back. You're never more than like fucking 4 feet off the ground, but there's something about a helicopter where you have that guillotine over your fucking head. You just go, what the fuck? And he goes, all right. He goes, all right, set her down. We're down on Long Beach, and he steps out of the thing, and then all of a sudden she's like, your heart like, oh, fuck. You know, and I'm fucking German-Irish, so you don't know what I'm thinking. I'm just fucking sitting there, all right. And he goes, all right, so the weight displacement's going to be really weird the first time. So
because he's not in it.
He's not in it.
Oh, fuck,
so he goes, just make sure you have...
whoa, hold on. Stop. Take that back 2 seconds. You've been flying with 2 people your whole time.
The whole time.
So it's almost like playing in wet socks. And then and then he's like, all right, you're going to play a lot faster, so you need to...
Well, yeah, you're going to pull power more than you need probably, and you're going to fucking shoot up a little bit. And then you got to have the stick way forward.
Yeah.
It's going to feel like you're fucking like this, and all you're really doing is moving it to here. But it's just, and then it just becomes like, this is weird. This is weird. And then it's just like, and then the first time they have you flying the pattern, the whole time you're talking to yourself, saying, you can't believe what you remember because they've so drilled it into your head that you're just saying everything that they've been saying. When you go to take your turns, and it's just like approaching runway 30 down Long Beach, and you just start doing your downwind check. Lights are out, RPMs are in the green, gauges are all green. Collective down, right pedal, or whatever, left pedal is what it is. And then the fucking pull carb heat, all of this shit. And then you're looking at your altimeter. So when you turn base, making sure you're at the right height, the right speed, in case you had to go into an auto rotation, the whole fucking thing. And it's just like, I almost get nervous just talking, like how fucking, like anything I ever did in stand-up, including fucking doing the Apollo, all of that shit, nothing, Letterman, nothing was like, it wasn't even the first time I did like a solo, that was like a half hour up, half hour back. The first time I had to do this 3 hours, you had to get 3 hours on the Hobbs meter, like, so they don't measure in like miles, they measure in time, right? So you had to do 3 hours. You flew to a controlled airport that has a tower, and then you flew to an uncontrolled airport, and you had to get gas, fuel, and then, no, you didn't have to get fuel, and then you had to come back. And dude, I have to tell you, dude, like, that fucking flight was just like the level of like you're just like in fight or flight mode the whole time, level of stress.
Yeah.
And I just keep looking over at that empty seat, and it's just like, if something goes down, this is fucking on me. Fuck, right? And I'm just like, not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen today. Just doing that shit.
Not today, motherfuckers.
And so I made it all the way to French Valley, set it down, and one of my instructors was somebody else, and she was supposed to be like right behind me, but the person she was flying with flew really slow, because I guess she was going to be talking to me the whole way, which would have been way more comforting. But I kind of was just like, you know, I remember when I went to lift off, I fucking shot up in the air, and it was really hot out, and I was sweating, and then I was like fucking trying to get back under control. I'm like, I know everybody just saw that, and I was just like, fucking airplane. I just wanted to get out of the airport. I got out of the airport, and then some wind was coming. I was like, fine, okay, I'm good. And I went by this airport where this guy is just always grumpy, this guy in the fucking tower there. I'm not going to say the tower because I don't need any shit, right? Look, I'm telling so many stories, my cigar went out. So the call is, just say, you know, whatever, Burbank Tower, helicopter, blah, 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 blah. I kept saying like Burbank traffic. Burbank traffic is when you're talking to people when you're just out.
Yeah.
So I kept going, and the guy kept going, it's tower, you say tower. And I was so, I guess go, Burbank traffic, student pilot. Fucking nuts.
Do you like flying because it shuts your brain down? Because, no, I mean, I'm just preface this with like, anyone that knows you well knows that like Bobby Kelly will say it. We've said it before. You really are probably one of the fastest, most thinking comedians. Like, you always are thinking. You're always kind of whittling subjects and topics down.
Can I tell you what's funny about that? I'll tell you two people I cannot even remotely keep up with mentally. Jim Norton and Dave Attell. I did a tour, me, Brewer, Norton, and Attell, and in the end, we'd all come out and like try to do like this improv thing. Mm-hmm. And dude, the speed with which those two guys' brains work, I couldn't even remotely keep up. So if you guys think that my brain works on some level, those guys are like fucking, dude, those guys were crazy. Like there were nights me and Brewer were standing there like, dude, because me and Brewer were like kind of goofy or whatever, and they were just like, bam,
Norton's brain is
bam.
nonstop like that. But you're like that, and when I flew that plane, I thought, oh, this is why Bill. I really thought this is why Bill likes this, because this is like an hour where it's almost like therapy. Like, you know, when you take a Xanax, my brain stops, and I enjoy it because I go.
What is Xanax?
Oh, it's
I always hear about it. What is it?
It's like a benzo. You take it, and it just kills your brain. Just stops thinking.
Is that supposed to help me?
So benzos are pretty aggressive. That's a big
You
Florida
went deeper
thing.
into the pill world. Like you're supposed to come back more my way.
No, this is a Florida thing.
It's like a Dorito that gets you high. It's like a benzo. Oh, thank you.
But I thought, when I was in a plane, I thought, this is why Bill likes this, because it is like it really does probably give you peace and quiet where you're in the moment and not thinking of a million different things.
It's a thrill when you do it, and then especially if you solo, it's in the beginning. I think after a while it probably wears off. But like when you've
been flying for 6 years?
Yeah, but I take like big chunks of time off. Like when I went back to New York, I had an acting gig. I mean, we were just working every day, and I had my family there, so I had to. You got to prioritize. So, I mean, I don't have that many hours for as long as I've been doing it. So, but the fun thing about it is it's still such a fucking thrill when I get to go do it. And
I want to go with you with you in a helicopter, and one of those ones you're talking about, the high-powered ones, on the beach. Because you can go like...
Dude, I met a guy that fucking flies one of those high-performance ones.
Yeah?
That you can do fucking loop-de-loops in.
Oh, fuck that.
I saw that guy fucking take off. Dude, he pulled power. This thing just went like a fucking high-speed elevator. It didn't even make sense.
Yeah.
It was just like, how... His stomach has got to be in his socks. Yeah. Like, how the fuck you can even do that? And the guy had an air show, so he went out to go practice.
I know this guy.
Practice his routine.
I might know this guy. I was supposed to fly for Travel Channel with this. There's like the best. Are you talking about like one of the best helicopter guys out there? He does loop-de-loops and does.
No, he's a
show.
Mediocre guy who's out there doing barrel rolls over Disneyland.
I think I know who you're talking about.
There's a number of them out here.
Yeah.
So it might be a different guy. I'm not trying to blow up anybody's spot or whatever.
No.
I don't know the guy. I just watched him take off, and what's funny was I was flying the Robinson R-22, which is the smallest, lightest, as far as I know. There's a couple of old, I think, Sikorsky's that are like that, but like, what's fun about the 22, if you learn how to fly on it, is it's like driving a car with no power steering or power brakes, so you're really flying the thing.
Yeah.
And if you can hold a hover in that, they always said you can kind of fly anything, which, you know, it depends on how much you fly too, but like, it definitely helped me when I moved up to something else. The hardest, it's not really holding a hover. The hardest thing when you get into a different helicopter is when it's setting back down, knowing where the skids are. Because if it's a bigger helicopter, you're used to something smaller, so you feel like you still got like another 6 feet to go, and it's like, oh fuck, like you feel like one of the skids like hitting and stuff. So
I tell you, my brain is so stuck in promoting tour dates and Instagram videos that I immediately, if I had your skill set of flying helicopters, I would be booking a world tour, and everywhere I went, I'd rent a helicopter and take everyone on like a fucking sightseeing tour. Fly up in the helicopter, GoPro, cameraman, shoot it.
Yeah.
Guys, let's see Tel Aviv. Just boom.
You know what's funny is I would like to start doing, like when I know a few people. I know a great school up in Vancouver, and I got a gig coming up there. And I'm going to try and fly with those guys again, because the last time I flew up there, it was like a real cloudy day, so I didn't get to see the beauty of...
Take a camera. I would love to see it.
Yeah, no, it's a...
Go to New Zealand, go up to the glaciers and fly up glaciers.
You know lives in New Zealand and flies helicopters?
Who?
Phil Rudd, drummer of AC/DC.
Really?
Yeah, when the first time he had he left AC/DC or got fired was after the Flick of the Switch recording, not even the tour. He recorded the album, and they parted ways, and he just kind of quit the music business, didn't play drums forever, and just learned how to fly a helicopter. And this is what I read, anyways. And like, what was funny was he hadn't talked to anybody in AC/DC in 13 years, and out of nowhere, Malcolm just called him up, rest his soul, and he picks up the phone. He's like, "Yeah," and then Malcolm is just like, "Hey, it's Mal. You want to have another go?" And he just goes, "Yeah." And then he was back in. And then they ask him, they go, "How much drums had you played since you left?" He goes, "None. Didn't play any." And then he came right back. He's one of the greatest drummers of all time.
Yeah.
There's a great story Brian Johnson tells how they were fucking recording an album, and it was the take that they wanted, and the fucking tape ran out or something like that. And the producer was all bummed out or whatever. And I guess Phil Rudd was just like, "Nah, just play it again. I'll jump back in." They're like, "You can't do that. It's impossible." He goes, "Just play the tape." And he did it fucking perfectly. Oh. And the same energy got right back into it and fucking nailed the take. And the producer was just like, "This is fucking unbelievable. You're fucking amazing." He just goes, "And now." I'm butchering the story. Look up Brian Johnson. He tells it way better because he was there.